Hi y'all, welcome to the Sugar Scoop. I'm sugar and cake artist Shelby Bauer, and today I thought we would do something a little bit different. I thought it would be fun to do some Cake Decorator reacts videos. I tried looking for some and didn't really see anything, and I really enjoy watching react videos myself. So we're gonna react today to some wedding cake fails, the worst kind of fails. In my industry, if you do a wedding cake fail, you have nightmares forever. And supposedly all of these cakes, the reality ones, are made by professional wedding cake decorators. So the first few ones are what the person ordered, what the client wanted, the inspiration picture, and then what they actually got. So let's see. First cake, the expectation is a pretty basic wedding cake. If you can't make this wedding cake, then you probably shouldn't be in the wedding cake business. And then it's decorated with some big rose petals. So let's see what they actually got. Oh no. So the reality cake, yeah, it looks terrible. It looks like they used like a rotting dead rose instead of like a nice fluffy living rose. And then so instead of like taking the pretty petals and like placing them around the cake like they did in the first picture, which you could take off the cake when you actually eat it easily, they took the little like rotting dead petals and smushed them into the cake all over. I'm gonna zoom in. It looks like it has some kind of like weird greenery on it. Oh yeah, the greenery on it looks like it's dead. Yeah, it looks like they just used really old flowers. Like, you know how like weeds kind of like wilt in the sun? This is what this looks like. So it's pretty sad. Okay, next cake. Okay, so the inspiration is, let me zoom in. Are those buttercream flowers? Yeah, it looks like it has piped buttercream, just like little 4-petal flowers all over it. Has separator tiers. So let's see what they actually got. Oh, okay. So the cake that they actually got looks like a Minecraft character. It's like the separator tiers are way too big. It looks to me like the separator tiers are actually made out of cake, which props to the baker. That would be hard. Because think about it, you have like this square cake on a smaller pedestal, and then you have a small cake, and then a big cake, and then a small cake, and then a big cake. It'd be hard to get it to stay up straight. This would actually be hard to do, all cake. Typically the separator tiers are like small foam pieces. So it's more like a cake on a little cake stand, and then a cake on a little cake stand like stacked up. But the flowers look like blobs and they're all the same size pretty much, so that doesn't look very good either. Not terrible, but you know, if I paid $1,000, I'd probably take it back. Can you take a wedding cake back? Let's see. Let's look at the next cake. Okay, so before picture we have like a nice beach themed wedding cake. Very pretty. It's got like the little pearl dots on it. It's a nice like soft gray color. I like that the board matches the buttercream and like that they're both kind of ivory. That looks nice. Got some seashells on it. So let's look at what they got. It's not good. Okay, so what they got is really, really sad. It looks nothing like the inspiration photo. Everybody has like a gross pillow, or like knows somebody that has a gross pillow that they've had for way too long, that's like lumpy and like a little bit yellow and doesn't have a pillowcase, or like went too long without a pillowcase. That's what this cake looks like, a stack of those pillows. And then the little like pearls that are supposed to be on the cake, what they've done is they just have a star tip, and they did their whole border with a star tip, and then they just went in and just used that same tip to like make dots all around it, which looks pretty awful. This cake for some reason is giving me cruise ship vibes, like it was a wedding on a cruise ship. And if that's the case, that would be really hard to do. It'd be really hard to make a wedding cake on a cruise ship. Maybe it's like not the best cruise ship. It's like a, you know, kind of janky cruise ship, and they have like a really small kitchen and they're like super hot. I mean, that would make sense, and then that would, I don't know, give them a break if that's the case. I bet you anything this cake tastes really good. Let's go to the next cake. Looks like a pretty basic, like ivory fondant cake with pink ribbon on it with some fresh flowers. Okay, so let's look at what they actually got. It looks like fleshy or something, like it's inside of somebody's mouth. Definitely melting, definitely sad. I feel like the baker probably cried a lot while making this cake. It looks like it started melting and then they added ribbon to it to keep it together. Yeah, I would hope. See, this is the case where if you paid like 50 bucks for it, I would still maybe be a little sad. I don't know what kind of bakery would actually deliver this. The bottom part, if you zoom in, the bottom part like has these weird like circular lumps on it for some reason. And the icing's like separating from itself. It definitely got hot, but I think it melted before they put the ribbon on, but the photo's nice. It looks like dentures. Okay. Okay, next cake. Okay, so this cake is like a island theme. A lot of these cakes remind me of like resort cakes. It's like an island cake with some bamboo and it looks like fresh flowers. Pretty simple. Let's see what they got. This cake, it's not bad. Okay, so the actual base of the cakes doesn't look bad. They outlined it with buttercream instead of doing like fondant and like modeling the bamboo. They piped thick logs. I'm using the word logs on purpose. Logs of brown buttercream frosting. And it's not the right color brown. This is not the brown of bamboo. So it looks like it's outlined in poop. It looks like a wedding cake outlined in poop. But otherwise, it's not terrible. If I was the baker in this situation, I'd be like, okay, abort. This is not working out. Abort mission. Gosh, if I was the bride, I would so rather them make an executive decision to not do the poop outline and to keep it just simple and white. Ugh. Okay, let's check out the next cake. All right, so this is like very 2000s wedding cake. It's got the black and the white and the roses. I like this cake. The only thing they should have done differently is the board should be black, because like the tops of all the cakes are black. But nice cake. Let's see what they actually got. Same cake. I feel like I can relate to this cake. Like I understand this cake. Like sometimes I feel like a tall lumpy mess too. This cake is obviously doesn't look anything like the inspiration picture. It looks like there might have been a stencil and then they tried to pipe on top of the stencil and their piping's just like really messy. I mean, if your aunt made this, totally fine. I wouldn't complain at all. I'd be like, thank you so much, aunt. That was so much work and you probably were super stressed and I'm so sorry I put that on you. But if I paid a professional, I would be very irritated. Okay, next cake. Okay, so the inspiration again looks like very resort wedding. Looks like those bands might be piped. They might be fondant. I can't tell. Probably fondant. I think they're supposed to be kind of off. Pretty colors. So let's see what they got. I'm scared. What did they get? Yeah, this is pretty awful. Why has it got a big bite taken out of it? That's so weird. It's like the cake was so bad that they just started eating it and then they're like, oh yeah, we need to take a picture. This cake is very sus. I don't know why it has a bite taken out of it and their piping is like really wonky. It would have been, they should have just kept with, they have a good base, you know, they have the two tiers that are white, they have the white flowers. They should have just left off the pink and the green and the black little flowers. That's what I would have done. And those black flowers might be real. They might be like those little edible pansies or something. Yeah, it's like the cake decorator was like sick. I feel like all of these cakes so far, it's like something bad must have happened. Like somebody was missing, somebody got in a car accident, couldn't make it, and so like the other people, like the people that like don't know how to decorate cakes, had to like band together to like make this cake happen, and it just didn't work out. But I don't know if that's the case in any of these cakes, then you gotta give props to the people who actually put cake out on the table. Okay, next cake. Okay, so this cake doesn't have an inspiration picture that goes along with it, but you can picture the inspiration was a pretty rectangle tiered 3-tier cake with clean edges, fondant sharp edges, a pretty lilac ribbon, garden themed with flowers all over it, and then they get this cake. This thing is so lumpy. I take back my lumpy pillow from earlier and I give it to this cake. This is such a lumpy pillow looking cake. Are we even sure that this is actually a cake? It is so sad. I love how they jammed the topper into the top of the cake. It's like this really pretty, like zoom in, let's zoom in. It's this really pretty glass W, and the cake is so uneven. And I guess they didn't realize how to put a topper on, because you would put like a little disc, like a cardboard disc or something, and you would put the topper on it and then like decorate it with flowers or something and put supports under it and put it in the top of the cake, so it's nice and even and flat, and like you don't have to jam it in. It's like just jammed into the cake. So because of that, you can probably like see in the cake because it's glass. Oh, it's so sad. The flowers look really pretty though, and the color's nice. Like the color of the white is nice, like a nice ivory. The lilac color is really pretty. The flowers match. I don't know what kind of board it's sitting on. It looks like it's sitting on a whiteboard, which is weird. My heart goes out to this baker. My heart goes out to them. I feel bad for them, and I hope that they're okay. I hope that they've mentally recovered from this. This is why, with all these cakes, this is why you don't charge for wedding cakes and you don't do this kind of stuff unless you know what you're doing. Because if you know what you're doing, you're not gonna have this happen to you. I don't know, but I can relate. I can relate kind of. I've had situations where nothing was going my way and the cake wasn't looking good, but I've never had a situation that I wasn't able to like fix it. So I don't know. I get it, kind of. Alright, so that's all the cakes that I have for y'all today. If you liked this video, let me know in the comments and I'll do more of these. Like this video and subscribe to my channel. I am going to be posting more. I did have my baby. You know, I haven't posted in a long time. I've been pregnant and that was crazy, and then I had a baby. So I am going to be posting a lot more, and I will see you guys again soon.